What's up, Y2? Black Bro TV, hitting you with another video. We're going live again. Today's topic is Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. I want to know what's y'all thoughts, comments, or anything that y'all could think of about the case. If y'all seen it, y'all let me know. Y'all can comment, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget that. Black Bro TV. It helped me get my algorithms up. And far as I know, I can get a little up there in the game right quick. So y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that like button. Don't forget that now. But the topic is Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. So if y'all know anything about it, gather your information or whatever y'all know. I like to hear it. I'm gonna just kind of run through a little quick bit of it. What happened today, a couple of hours ago. I'm gonna let a few people get in the room and see what's happening. If not, I'll just start the show as usual. You know me, I don't usually wait too long. I just start getting into the show, and whatever happens from there, well, we live. I ain't gonna be in silence too long. I'll wait a few little minutes and we get the show started. Pardon me, I'm checking my little phone right quick and seeing what's going on right quick. And a couple of missed calls. Okay, we ain't gonna wait too long. We're just gonna start the show. This is straight live. So Derek Chauvin, let's talk about that. I'm gonna read you a little paragraph of what I researched, from the start of what's going on with Chauvin in the FLOYD case. I don't know if y'all could still see this. Let me see if I could share it. But Chauvin was charged with second-degree murder, in unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. His murder trial began on March 8, 2021 in Minnesota, Fort Judicial District Court, and concluded on April 20th when the jury found him guilty on all three charges. So just remember, he was charged with second-degree murder or second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. I'm sorry. I mean, my feelings and reactions towards the trial or towards his sentencing today. The trial was earlier on, months ago, and that didn't sit too well with me, you know, because he hadn't said a word in the trial, and I didn't like that. But at the same time, you know, he was muzzled up, you know, by Nelson, his defense attorney, and I kind of understand it, but at the same time, he at least could have said something. Maybe it could have brought his case to light more better, which no matter what he did to me anyway, he did wrong, you know. So that would have deadened it right there for me anyway, just, you know, stating on his case. But the sentence today for 22 years and some, I mean, my reaction to it is it was well needed, you know, well needed. So it's one of the longest police officer uh sentencing I think that was made. I can't say in history, but as far as I know, I found out it was one of the longest, you know, amount of years given to a police officer, you know, that they said. So that's a pretty good stint, you know, 22 years. I think one of the other cases was like 15 years, the longest a police officer ever got. I mean, if y'all have any other information on another police officer who got more than that, y'all can comment, you know, hit me in the chat box, whatever. But whew, that trial was long and the sentencing was short. So, you know. But I'm going to share my screen for a minute, you know, trying to get some information together, you know. At one moment, I know he had, like at the beginning of this sentencing, he had requested for a new trial, but I think the judge denied that. The judge denied it, and that was dead and right there on the spot. You know, once he denied, it was over. You know, he can't get a new trial. So I'm about to post that up right quick so y'all can see. And this was it, you know. I don't know if y'all can see that, but if y'all got a magnifying glass, the writing is so small, maybe y'all could see it, but if y'all can't, y'all could look it up. You know, judge rejects Derek Chauvin's request for a new trial in George Floyd's case. This is basically like an update from his trial, you know. So I want to come on here and show the sentencing, you know, if I could, and show a little video. We'll try to catch a couple of snippets of video, you know, from the trial if I can, you know. So let me play a few little things that happened in the trial, you know, little short snippets, and see if I could do that. Okay, let's see.
A minute earlier and listen carefully to all the input here today. And it is truly appreciated that you took the time to stay with this case and to provide me with input. I have reviewed the pre-sentence investigation and carefully considered all the facts of the case and the law, but my comments are actually going to be very brief because most of it's going to be in writing. I have a 22-page memorandum that is going to be attached to the sentencing order. And why am I doing it in writing? To emphasize the fact that determining the appropriate sentence in any case, and in this case, is a legal analysis.
Now look at his face. Look at Derek Chauvin's face. I'm gonna bring back the video and just look at his face. Now, throughout the sentencing, he really didn't look too bothered. But I'll show you later on about when his mother came up. You could tell it hit him, but at the same time, he still didn't look shook.
It's applying the rule of law to the facts of an individual and specific case. And that is why, as opposed to trying to being profound here on the record, I prefer that you read the legal analysis that explains how I determined the sentence in this case. What the case is, or what the sentence is not based on, is emotion or sympathy. But at the same time, I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain that all the families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. You have our sympathies. And I acknowledge and hear the pain that you are feeling. I acknowledge the pain not only of those in this courtroom, but the Floyd family who are outside this courtroom and other members of the community. It has been painful throughout Hennepin County, throughout the state of Minnesota, and even the country. But most importantly, we need to recognize the pain of the Floyd family. I'm not going to attempt to be profound or clever because it's not the appropriate time. I'm not basing my sentence also on public opinion. I'm not basing it on any attempt to send any messages. A trial court judge, the job of a trial court judge is to apply the law to specific facts and to deal with individual cases. And so, Mr. Chauvin, as to count one, based on the verdict of the jury, finding you guilty of unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony under Minnesota Statute 609.19 subdivision 2 paren 1, it is the judgment of the court that you now stand convicted of that offense. Pursuant to Minnesota Statute section 609.04, counts 2 and 3 will remain unadjudicated as they are lesser offenses of count 1. As sentenced for count 1, the court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months. That's 270. That is a 10-year addition to the presumptive sentence of 150 months. This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd. You're granted credit for 199 days already served. Pay the mandatory surcharge of $78 to be paid from prison wages. You're prohibited from possessing firearms, ammunition, or explosives for the remainder of your life. Provide a DNA sample as required by law.
Prevented from using firearms, basically anything as a weapon. So it's over for him, but he still got a less amount of years. But I do think they got upcoming charges that he had before that situation happened, because it was one case that he had hit someone in a teenager, or I'm not going to say a teenager, but it was somebody that he hit in the head with a flashlight, which didn't make any sense. But I really clearly don't understand that. But I guess, they have more charges, coming up sooner or later, as he served time in prison for these charges right here. So let's get back to the video.
Register as a predatory offender as required by law. And then you will receive a copy of the order and also the attached memorandum explaining the court's analysis.
So he gone right there.
Anything further from the state?
If this needs to be said, we just ask that it be executed forthwith.
Defendant is remanded to the custody of the sheriff to be transported back to the DOC or whichever custody is currently holding him. Anything from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. We are adjourned.
You out of there. You out of there. It's over.
Everyone manages their money differently.
It's over. But it's not over yet because there's still more situations to come. You still got the 3 cops. You got the 3 cops that witnessed and who was 2 of them that was on FLOYD that was helping Chauvin pin FLOYD down. They all got to withstand trial sooner or later. You know, I think theirs upcoming soon. So it's going to be a hell of a year for the FLOYD case, for Chauvin, the 3 cops, and everybody else that was involved. You know, it'll be a hell of a year for them. So it's going to be tough. And Chauvin, I already know that, you know, he won't like where he going, or where he is at right now. So, I mean, that was a couple of hours ago, earlier. So he done. He'll cook chicken right now. So whatever happened from now on, he better pray. That's all I could say. But let's see. Show you this screen right here. Let's see if I could share it. Probably can't. I'm gonna look at the part when his mother was talking to him before the sentence that the judge gave him, and a look at his face. You know, like he really didn't. I can't say he didn't shed a tear, but I don't think he did. He looked like he really didn't care in a way. That's my opinion. You know, when everybody else looks at it, they might think different. You know, I'm sure he got all kind of stuff running through his head. But I'll show a quick video or a clip of his mother talking to him from the stand.
If you could state your full name, spelling each of your names, and proceed when you're ready.
Just look at his body language while his mom talks.
Carolyn, Pawlenty, Pawlenty. I am the mother of Derek Chauvin. I am here to speak on behalf of my entire family. On November 25th, 2020, not only did Derek's life change forever, but so did mine and my family's. Derek devoted 19 years of his life to the Minneapolis Police Department. It has been difficult for me to hear and read what the media, public, and prosecution team believe Derek to be an aggressive, heartless, and uncaring person. I can tell you that is far from the truth. My son's identity has also been reduced to that as a racist. I want this court to know that none of these things are true, and that my son is a good man. Derek always dedicated his life and time to the police department. Even on his days off, he would call in to see if they needed help. Derek is a quiet, thoughtful, honorable, and selfless man. He has a big heart, and he always has put others before his own. The public will never know the loving and caring man he is that his family does. Even though I have not spoken publicly, I have always supported him 100% and always will.
Just look at his face right there, you know, while she's saying
Derek
this.
has played over and over in his head the events of that day. I've seen the toll it has taken on him. I believe a lengthy sentence will not serve Derek well. When you sentence my son, you will also be sentencing me. I will not be able to see.
Now she said, when you sentence my son, you will also be sentencing me. I mean, in my opinion, you know, when you think about it, I mean, a mother got to do what she got to do for her son or her kid or her daughter or whoever it is, you know, that's under her, who she made. So you have to have sympathy. You have to have protection over your kids at all times. But sometimes some things is so horrendous or so, you know, so tragic. You know, I know a mother wants to say, you know, maybe he did it inside of her mind. You know, she want to say he did this, but she can't. So you got to have that protection as a father or mother, you know, and protect your kids. And you got to stand beside them in any case. But sometimes it's just so unbearable. People can't stand it. And, you know, I don't know, you know, she had a hard time on the stand. And I mean, I can understand that. But by the look of his face, Chauvin's face, I'm not going to say he didn't care, you know, but he know where he going. But it didn't look like he had any type of, you know, remorse, you know, for anything. You know, and I'm going to show you a clip if I can of him making a statement right before his sentencing. Let's get back to this little video with his mom.
Derek, talk to him on the phone, or give him a special hug. Plus the fact that when he is released, his father and I most likely will not be here.
I hope y'all can hear this audio.
Derek,
I clicked it this time.
my happiest moment is when I gave birth to you. And my second is when I was honored to pin your police badge on you. I remember you whispering to me, "Don't stick me with it." Derek, I want you to know I have always believed in your innocence, and I will never waver from that. I have read numerous letters from people around the world that also believe in your innocence. No matter where you go, where you are, I will always be there to visit you. I promise you I will stay strong, as we talked about, and I want you to do the same for me.
Just check out his face. You know, it is. I
I will
understand
do what you
looking
told
at
me
his
to
mom,
do.
but
Take care of myself,
he trying to be strong himself.
so I will
Where
be
you
here
going?
for you when you come home.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Remember, there is no stronger bond or love than a mother's love. One final thought I want you to remember. Remember, you are my favorite son. Thank you for your time.
If home is where the heart is.
All right. I mean, that look on his face just it takes me to thinking like, man, this dude, I don't know what he got going on in his mind, but I know he's like to me, it's not nothing scaring him, but at the same time, I don't want to put that out there like that, but that's just my reaction to him. So it's just me saying that, you know. I don't know what's going on in his mind. Nobody would know, but I'm gonna play a little snippet of the video of what he said to the parents and the family of George Floyd. But one thing I want to do is play a snippet of George Floyd's cousin, I think it is, who's talking and straight to Chauvin. Let me see if I could find it right quick. I don't know. Bear with me. If y'all could hear me.
Jury selection is underway in the trial of the former Minneapolis police officer charged in George Floyd's death. Derek Chauvin faces charges of second-degree murder and manslaughter in the May 2020 death of George Floyd. The process began Tuesday. From the prosecution.
So I'm kind of messing up a little bit. I'm trying to find the video. Where his cousin, or I think that's his cousin, that was well, I know one thing. The family wanted to get maximum amount of years out of it. Like, I think they was hoping for Chauvin to get 30 years, and he wound up getting 22. But that's still like one of the longest sentences for a police officer. So I think a lot of people are happy about that. And I guess the family kind of swayed towards they wanted the 30 years, but at the same time, they still received justice in that off of that trial, you know, that he had. But I think they got some more pending charges coming up. So I guess while he's in prison, you know, he still have charges come up, maybe another trial or something like that, or whatever come up, you know. And I think his mom wanted like a lighter sentence anyway. She stated she wanted a lighter sentence for him because that's her baby. And I think that she said something about she wanted probation, you know, or some type of, I guess, parole or whatever, something where it'll lean towards him getting out, you know. But 22 years, you know, the way I'm thinking is like some people do half of their time. So, I mean, 22 years is like, he might be able to do like half of that, which is probably 11, 12 years, maybe 13, you know, at the most on good behavior. I don't know how all the extent of, you know, everything is, but at the same time, most of the time when people doing good in jail, if he survived prison, for that long, it might be a possible way where maybe he could get out early. But I think he's like 45 right now. So at 45 years old and you get out in 22 years, that's like 67 or something like that. So 67 years old, he'll be an old man, but he still have, enough time to kind of wallow, in the world and do whatever, at that age, depending on how his health is, when he get out or if he get out. So, and then, if the pending charges don't add to his sentencing right now that he have, so I don't know how that gonna come about. I'll do more research on it, but at the same time, it's like, I know he got other charges, I think he beat somebody in the head with a flashlight, and I think he pinned someone else down for like a certain amount of time, like he did George Floyd, so I mean, there's videos out there through YouTube or, information out there through wherever you can find it, on the situation, all his background, and I think, like I said before in another video, he was tied, I think, as a security partner with George Floyd, or he worked with George Floyd or something to that effect, so that case right there it made history when it went live. So to me, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it, that girl who took the video did a hell of a job, no matter what, to me, I think she deserved millions, it's coming from Black Bruh TV, because it put the stamp on what's going on to the world today, which other videos do that. They got millions of videos that do that. But when it hit worldwide on live, right there, and somebody to die right there, and somebody, live in front of people, it shakes you up, and it opens everybody's eyes to it, and millions of videos like that happen. But, that one shares some big light on what's going on and the corruption of police officers today, and they got other situations out there like, Dante Wright. They got, so many, I could name numerous of them, a numerous amount of them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all the way out. So, I won't bring that up too much, but at the same time, they got so many cases out there and situations that, shed so much light on the corruption of police officers. And, police doing their job. A lot of police do their job. I'm not talking about all of them, but there's many of them, a certain percentage of them that's, they're disloyal to the force, of their policies and everything else that goes along with it, and, people trying to feed their families, becoming a police officer, but you can't abuse your force and your authority, on people, in certain situations. You can't do that. You really can't do that at all. So that's why they gave him that sentence. He abused his power, and everybody was there to see it, live. So let me see if I can play one video. I want to play the video with I think it's his Floyd's cousin or whatever, broke down, and basically was saying, if I can't find it, we'll just tell you about it. He broke down and he asked George Floyd. I mean, not George Floyd, I'm sorry. He asked Chauvin directly to his face when he was on the podium, hey, look, what was your motive? Why did you do that? Why didn't you just get up? That's what he asked him. Why didn't you just get up? You could have stopped. You could have had him breathe and caught his breath and lived. You know what I mean? So that was the whole thing. Once he asked him that, it was like the camera was kind of facing Chauvin, and I was like, man, he ain't had nothing to say. He ain't had anything to say at all. I wish I could play the video. Maybe I'll find a snippet right quick. I'm gonna look for the other snippet with Chauvin, saying his little speech right quick, that right before his sentencing. Give me a second. I'm gonna check it out right quick and show y'all. Because I watched the trial, the sentencing today, and When I got off of work, I was looking at it, I was like, man, it didn't make no sense. But justice was served in that aspect. So that's good. It's good for the Floyd family. And, you know, I'm sure they kind of, you know, relieved in some way. So let me look for this video right quick. Bear with me a few seconds or a few minutes, and I get it.
PayPal and Venmo touch-free payments, now accepted at CVS stores nationwide. Get a $10 reward.
Mr. Chauvin, this is your opportunity if you wish to give any input to the court. And so I turn it over to you and your attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, due to some additional legal matters at hand, I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time. But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family. There's going to be some other information in the future that would be of interest. And I hope things will give you some peace of mind. Thank you.
And I'll note that I did read your comments in the pre-sentence investigation as well.
Now, he said there'd be some other information that'll give you some a peace of mind, you know, of interest. What other information? I mean, I don't understand what could give people. This man is gone. You know what I'm saying? This man is gone, period. You ain't nothing you can do that could piece that back together, you know, and shed some type of light, I guess, you know, from the way he was saying it. I'm going to replay that video again just so y'all can hear it, you know.
Mr. Chauvin, this is your opportunity if you wish to give any input to the court. And so I turn it over to you and your attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, due to some additional legal matters at hand, I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time. But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family. There's going to be some other information in the future that would be of interest. And I hope things will give you some peace of mind. Thank you.
And I'll note that I did read your comments in the pre-sentence investigation as well.
You know, some court cases in wild ways, you know. You could watch the clips on YouTube. You know, they had court cases where families went after the killer and everything, you know, and which is understandable because families feel some type of way about their own kids, you know, parents, you know. They don't want nobody killing their children, you know. So the whole thing, nobody wants nobody to kill nobody, really. But, you know, he kept looking back to the side as to say, like, man, he was kind of scared to say what he said. But all he did was give condolences, and that was it. He didn't have, to me, he didn't show any remorse. He didn't say, well, I'm sorry for what happened or anything. You know, that's what took my mind, you know. And it's a crazy situation for him to just say that. But he tried to, I don't know if his defense attorney put him up to that situation. That's just my opinion. I'm just, you know, thinking about what could have happened in his mind, like what he was saying in his mind. But he should at least said something to the effect that can give them, you know, a glimpse of, you know, some type of, I can't say happiness, you know, but because there ain't nothing they really can say, really, that nothing he could really say that'll make the family feel better, you know, no matter what, because he murdered, you know, Floyd. So That's just my opinion. I'm talking on this subject because this is worldwide news. No matter what, is all over the CNN, CBS, any other news station that you can find. Is on there. So my opinion, shouldn't affect nobody. It's just my opinion. But Chauvin, that look on his face just didn't seem right at all. Like, he wanted to shake that off and hurry up and get out of court and do what he had to do, and serve his time. That's what I'm thinking. He gonna be in the slammer for a long time. And I think they got more pending charges for other stuff. So, behind that. And I can't wait to see when the other 2 or 3 cops, have their court case. Maybe I'll go live on that. It all depends. That's just this video right here is just in case if people not up, on a level of what happened with Floyd case. That's all it is. I had to go live, because today was the sentences of Chauvin. So 22 years, he out of there. I'm sorry I didn't show, the remorse. Floyd's cousin or somebody that was related to Floyd when he spoke. I wanted to show that because he spoke directly to Chauvin, and this case been going on for a while. So, it was well needed. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Let me bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I can.
Guys, I'm telling you, that's not how you say it.
Nah, ball. That's Keedy, ball.
Are you deaf, dude?
Your Honor, we have 4 victim impact statements. We will
That's part of it right here.
With the 7-year-old daughter of George Floyd, Gianna Floyd, who will present hers by video.
This was amazing, for them to put video of, Floyd's daughter, on there. And man, that right there took my mind, and, it made me tear up because I'm like, man, that little girl, can't even see her dad anymore. Let's get into the video again. So I'm going to play it right quick.
What do you miss most about your daddy?
Well, I ask about him all the time. And that's kind of it.
Yeah. Well, when you ask about him, what are you asking about?
Well, I was asking, how did my dad get hurt?
Do you wish that he was still here with us?
Yeah, but he is.
Through his spirit?
Yes.
Yes. And when you see your daddy again one day, what do you want to do when you see him?
I want to play with him.
What kind of games do you want to play with him?
I want to play with him, have fun, go on a plane ride, and that's it.
Yeah.
We used to have dinner meals every single night before we went to bed. My daddy always used to help me brush my teeth.
Oh.
I had to stop it right there because that's it brings you to tears, seeing that, so I don't want to get teary-eyed right now. I'm already tired, got home from work, but it brings me to tears, when when I seen it earlier, I was like, oh no, you know, I can't. But that's a joyful little girl, you know, and you know, I'm mad myself because she missed her dad, you know. But I'll play the video some more, but not. I'm gonna try to skip through it right quick. Now this is the part that I want everybody to see. I think it's his cousin, or he gonna state, or they gonna state who he is. You know, if you don't hear it, it's somebody related to Floyd. You know, and he couldn't take it. You know, at the time, but you know how when stuff like that hits you that hard, you know, you can't take it. But at least he had the, you know, energy enough to tell Chauvin and ask him questions, you know, while he was on the stand. And I liked it that, you know, sad situation, but, you know, let's get back with the video.
Mr. Floyd, if you could state your full name, spelling each of your names.
Yes. Terrence Floyd. That's Terrence, Floyd, FLOYD.
Go ahead.
I'm here representing my brother. I'm from New York. On May 25th, 2020, my brother was murdered, everyone knows, by Derek Chauvin. The facts of this case were proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and 3 guilty verdicts have been rendered. This situation has really affected me and my family. Any family member that has went through this, we are part of a fraternity of families, and it's not one of those, you know, fraternities that you enjoy. I just, over this last year and months, I actually talked to a few people, and I wanted to know from the man himself, why? What were you thinking? What was going through your head when you had your knee on my brother's neck? Why, when you knew that he posed no threat anymore, he was handcuffed, why you didn't at least get up? Why you stayed there? A month before my brother was murdered, I was on the phone with him, and we had a long conversation. And as I looked at the video of my niece, the last conversation me and my brother had was he wanted to have play dates. He wanted to plan play dates with Gianna and my daughter. And we started setting it up. That can't happen. And I have to, my daughter's still young, but I still have to explain to her, because this is history. This is a case everybody knows about. So she's gonna find out, and I'm gonna have to explain that to her. And I think that's to me harder than even just standing here, that I have to talk to my daughter and tell her, you know, about her niece, about her uncle, about the situation. That's basically reliving it all over again, years down the line.
It's hard to
I'm
regroup
here
and come back and
on behalf of
say
my family,
anything, especially in front of the killer.
Sorry. On behalf of me and my family, we seek the maximum penalty. We don't want to see no more slaps on the wrist. We've been through that already. In my community, in my culture, we've been through that already. Smacked on the wrist. No. Because if it was us, if the roles was reversed, there wouldn't be no case. It would have been open and shut. We'd have been under the jail for murdering somebody.
Exactly.
So we asked for that same penalty for Derek Chauvin. Thank you.
If home is where the heart is,
Yeah. That concludes Black Bruh TV. Derek Chauvin sentenced to 2.5 years. 22.5 years in prison. Now, bear with the case. Really, this case is over on that aspect, but they have other pending things to come. So I'm about to be out of here. Thanks for watching Black Bruh TV. Y'all have a safe night and a joyous weekend. I'm out of here. Peace.